What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Things are starting to heat up, and the second last day before trade deadline was yesterday. Today is the trade deadline, and things were really starting to heat up. We saw a couple big names on the move. New York Yankees did not hesitate with picking up Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo. Those are going to be two big names. Rizzo, for the majority of the day, it sounded like he was going to be going to Boston, but Yankees swoop in there last second. We also see Kyle Schwarber going to Boston instead, so they're going to have to wait a little bit before he's in the lineup, but at least a little bit of an addition there. But I think the biggest news is what the Dodgers are doing. They seem to be all but certain to land Max Scherzer and Trea Turner in what is going to be a blockbuster, sending back a ton of prospect talent. As of this morning, it wasn't quite confirmed yet, and we all know in baseball things can happen last second if a trade doesn't get confirmed. So, never know. Couldn't happen, but I think at this point, it seems everybody's reporting. Everyone's excited. Dodgers are just going to be completely stacked. All that fun stuff. We still have a couple of guys left on the trade block. Trea Turner, or not Trea Turner. With Jose Berrios, we got Trevor Story, who had been rumored all season long. He still hasn't been dealt, so we'll see where he goes. But a lot of teams, and it's the trade deadline, so we're going to see trades for sure. Hopefully everyone is excited about that. Last night we had 12 games of baseball, one doubleheader. Bunch of these games were shutouts and blowouts. It was pretty exciting in that aspect. But let's jump into those. Before we do, go down there, like, subscribe, join the community, join the Discord. We have a Discord up and running. I have a couple people in there talking, so if you're want to talk baseball all day long, get in there and join us for that. Moving along, first game of the night, we have the doubleheader. Nationals 3, Phillies 1. Nationals got out for the first game, and it was tied going in the bottom of the ninth, or top of the ninth, and the Nationals, they put a 2 runs. I guess it was a doubleheader, so 7th. They put up 2 runs in the 7th. Gomes hits his 9th home run of the season off of Wheeler, 2-run bomb, and Wheeler tried to go all 7, and they got punished for that. And the Phillies really needed to win these games, and we'll get to the second game in a second because it was pretty important. Real Muto for the Phillies does hit one off of Scherzer, his 11th. This was Scherzer's last outing as a National. I think we all are certain about that. He went 6, 1 earned on 5 Ks, showcasing why they're going to have to pay up to bring him in. And Zach Wheeler goes 7, 3 earned runs, and 5 Ks in the loss. Moving along into the second game, the Phillies were definitely on the ropes, potentially season on the line with Atlanta winning, and they would have been moving down into 3rd place in the division. But the Nationals were at 7-0 in the 3rd inning, and the Phillies were all but certain of losing this one. But they chipped away, and then had a monster 7th inning where they hit a 3-run bomb. Hits a home run in this one, and then Brad Miller comes in the top of the 8th and hits a grand slam, which is the difference in this game. Phillies, they just really needed this game super bad. They went with the bullpen game, and that's always a concern when you have the Phillies running out that much of a bullpen, and maybe that has to do with why they got behind so bad. But Corbin, he went 5, 4 earned runs, and then the bullpen gave up a bunch of runs themselves, and the Phillies scrape out of here with 1 win in a doubleheader, which was very, very much needed. They still maintain 2nd place in the division. Moving along, we got the Braves 6, Mets 3. So the Braves helping the Phillies out a little bit with a win here. But also making the division very interesting. The Mets are only 7 games above 500. So between the Braves or the Phillies, I think one of these teams are going to catch them. Without Acuna, Pederson has still been a hot member of the Braves, and the Mets were out early. But the Braves put up 5 in the middle innings to take a pretty commanding lead. The Mets tried to chip away, put up 2 in the bottom of the 5th, but it wasn't enough. Alonso hitting his 23rd of the season in the 5th, a 2-run bomb. He's been super hot since that All-Star crowning on the Home Run Derby. And Austin Riley, his 21st of the season, I think that might be 3 or 4 days in a row where he's hitting a home run, and he's been hot. His 21st of the season. Almonte his 5th, and Swanson hits one of his 18th as well. You got to be excited with a big win here. Smiley goes 4, 306 Ks, and Taijuan Walker now back-to-back games where he's definitely struggled since that All-Star break. He goes 5 earned runs, 7 Ks, giving up a couple of home runs, and in the loss, I don't know if the Mets are going to be able to hold on here. Without putting DeGrom out every 5 days, they're not pretty much guaranteed almost a win on those days, so got to be concerned there. Rays 14, Yankees 0. So I think after the Rays laid the beat down on the Yankees in the afternoon, they were like, all right, we got to go out and get Rizzo. We can't let him go to Boston. If we have any chance at this division, etc., or a wild card, we need to add some bats because they've been dealing with a bottom of the lineup that just isn't getting it done. So Gallo's already on his way, and then now Rizzo's on his way. Tampa Bay got out to a quick lead in that first inning. Meadows had a monster game, 2 home runs. He's up to 20 on the season. Garrett Cole just got annihilated today. A lot of concern there, and Meadows went 3 hits, 5 RBIs. Garrett Cole was 5.1, 7 earned run and 10 Ks. One of his worst outings, and if this is the kind of outing they're going to have in a wildcard game, they got to be a little bit concerned because this is a potential wildcard matchup right now. I know the A's are holding on that spot, but I never know. These guys could definitely do it. And the Rays have always seemed to have the Yankees number for a number of years now. Phillips hits his 6th, and Troy hits his 7th as well. And the Yankees just get completely shut out and beat up 14-0. Patina goes 6, 0 earned runs and 8 Ks in the win. And yeah, the Rays got to be happy about that one. Royals 5, White Sox 0, and we got another shutout here. And the Royals have just handled the White Sox in these past 4 games, taking 3 of 4. And they got to be pretty excited that Salvador Perez continues to hit bombs, 25th of the season, that first inning. And then we have Taylor hitting his 9th. Carlos Santana had a nice 2-hit night, and there's a lot of potential that he could be a first base that now that the Red Sox might look at. I guess that's Kyle Schwarber might be what they were doing when they did that, but Santana potentially on the market. Hernandez goes 6, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks for the Royals. He's now 2-1 on the season. Carlos Rondon, that's back-to-back outings where he's gotten a little bit of a beatdown. 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, and 4 Ks. In the loss, long Reds 7, Cubs 4, and ever since Baez walked it off against the Reds just turned it right around and won all the games. They got out to a 2-0 lead before the Cubs actually had a lead here, 3-2, about halfway through. But the bullpen kind of let it up, and the Reds' offense woke up and scored 5. Joey Votto has now hit 8 home runs in the past 6 games. He's up to 20. He hit another one in this one. I think that's 6 games in a row, 4 games in a row, something like that, where he just continues to mash. He had 2 hits, 2 RBIs. In this one. On the other side, Wisdom hits a home run, Contreras hits 17th, and Happ his 11th. So all the runs coming from home runs for the Cubs. And Luis Castillo, he went 6, 3 runs, 8 Ks, and continues to just perform at a level that the Reds need. And he's been pretty consistent ever since that very rough start in April and beginning of May. But his ERA is still 4.22. But I think if you look at his last 2 months, it's definitely going to be way, way lower. If he can keep that up, the Reds are going to be in a good chance to make a run at this. Alex Mills goes 6, 3 earned runs, and no Ks in the loss. Moving along with the Giants 5, Dodgers 0. And I don't think the Dodgers were too happy being shut out here because immediately after this game was on, the rumors started flying. The Max Scherzer and Trea Turner were on their way. And can you imagine what this lineup is going to look like with those two? And it just complete insanity. Got to be excited that Trea Turner, definitely a big return and having him on lockdown. Rumor is he'll likely be in the second base slot, but we'll see how all that goes. Max Muncy right now currently played second base in this game. So anything, I think, will be an upgrade from having Max have to play second. Giants, no home runs, but they had a top of the lineup, multiple hit night. They got to be a little bit concerned with the Padres and the Dodgers both making big moves. I would suspect the Giants are going to make some sort of move today. We'll see. Cueto goes 5.20 earned runs and 5 Ks. Dave Price, 4.1, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Price is looking all right. He's picking up his first loss of the season, but he's been filling in the shoes pretty good, and soon he'll get to rest up and go back to the bullpen, I'm sure, with Scherzer coming back. With Bauer, we're not sure he's going to come back, but we'll see, Brewers 12, Pirates 0, and another shutout on the night. And the Brewers offense it's really starting to come alive. A couple of guys in their lineup had 3 hit nights. Dames, Tellez, Taylor, all these guys added throughout the season. I know I talked about it early in the season how the Brewers, their offense was going to be their area of concern. We all know what their pitching is capable of, but their offense is definitely the concern. And they've addressed it, and ever since then, they've really piled it on. It was 1-0 halfway through this game, and in the 6th inning is when it really got opened up. Pina had 2 home runs in this game. He's up to 7. Tellez, his 8th of the season. So Tellez, ever since being traded from the Jays, he never really got the opportunity in the Jays to really turn it on. He wasn't an everyday player. He's always had the power, and he's really fitting nicely with this Brewers lineup, and he's turning it around. Freddie Peralta goes 6, 0 earned runs, 5 Ks. Chad Cole goes 5.1, 3 earned runs and 5 Ks. Like, Cole had a good outing, but the bullpen got taken advantage of in the late innings, and the Brewers walk off to try to give a little bit of a lead over the Reds, but the Reds are still fighting for sure. Tigers 6, Orioles 2. Tigers pretty much out early in this one, 4-0, and the Orioles tried. They put up 1 in the 7th, but the Tigers immediately said, no, not today. Off the bat of Miggy Cabrera, who hit 2 home runs in this one, had a nice 3-hit, 2 RBI night. He's up to 10 on the season and up to 497 on his career. 3 more there, and we're going to see him hit 500. He'll do it this season, I'm fairly certain. As long as he can stay healthy, he'll get there. Miz goes 7, 0 earned runs, 2 Ks. He's supposed to have a kind of a pitch outing limit, but going 7 on 88 pitches, that's got to be all right for him. They really pushed him last night. Wells goes 5, 4 earned runs, and 4 Ks in the loss. And the Orioles, they get cooled off by these red-hot Tigers, who have been just 5 games. They're 5 games below 500. By the end of this, they're going to be passing Cleveland sooner rather than later at this rate. 13-1 for the Blue Jays, and their offense was in full force on this one. They got to Rodriguez early for 3 runs and then added another one in the second. Rodriguez started to settle in, but it didn't matter. The Jays offense just continued to rake. Guerrero Jr. hits a 3-run bomb for his 33rd of the season. Will he catch Ohtani? I'm not so certain. That man is super hot himself. We didn't have a lot of offense coming from the Boston side of things. They only had 6 hits, and they were spread out. Pretty much a lot of it coming from the bottom of the lineup. We saw Bogaerts come out in mid-game, and we saw, Vasquez playing third base. It's pretty interesting to see that. Teoscar Hernandez also had a big game, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Ryu was out there, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 5 Ks. And he talked about how his grandfather had just passed away earlier that day over in Korea, so it was actually at night there, but it also fired him up, and it looked like he performed very well with that behind him. Rodriguez went 3.1, 6 earned runs, and 8 Ks. Not a good outing for him, and he continues to have a pretty inflated ERA of 5.6. I think the Red Sox are really looking forward to Sale coming back. Athletics 4, Angels 0, another shutout on the books, and this is Starling Marte making his debut for the Athletics. He had a 1-hit night. Overall, 3 runs coming in the first for the Athletics. That was pretty much all they needed. Frankie Montez goes 7, 0 earned runs, 10 Ks. And they're happy. The Oakland A's rotation has obviously been very solid this season, and now they're adding some bats, a big part of the lineup with Marte. So they're really pushing for that wild card. It's going to be a battle. Them, Yankees, Jays, Angels even are in it. But this loss obviously adds up for the Angels. Bundy goes 4.1. 3 earned runs and 2 Ks in the loss, and the Angels are now back to 500, and they have a lot of ground. If they're going to make it into the wild card, they're pretty out, because they're like 6 games out at this point. Pretty starting to fall back pretty, and a lot of teams to hop. Padres 3, Rockies 0, and this is your last shutout of the night. I think, how many shutouts is that? 6 on the night? You don't see that too often, 6 teams getting shut out. But the Padres needed this win. They want to maintain some ground on the division. And they were very much supposed to be in the hunt for that Scherzer. A lot of the rumors coming out early in the day was that Scherzer was going to be going to the Padres. But it looks like the Dodgers swooped in last minute and really gave them the farm. Jake Cronenworth hits his 14th home run of the season. Coming in the 8th inning, give a couple of insurance runs. And Colorado, like I said, being shut out. Musgrove goes 7, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks. And Freeland goes 6 with 1 earned run and 4 Ks. Freeland's been pretty decent. Like, the Rockies' rotation's not too bad, but just without the run support, of course, you're going to lose. And when Padres flash what their pitching is capable of with Musgrove, and then bringing in their solid bullpen of Pomeranz and Mountcalm, who hits his 32nd save of the season. He's way ahead of the curve in the save department. Padres got to be pretty excited, but they're going to have their hands full. This National League West is definitely heating up. We're going to have to see if the Giants have some in their tank today. We're going to see the trade deadline. What's going to happen today? We have Berrios. I think is probably the biggest starting pitcher left out there. He could very well take a haul. Deep downside, I hope the Jays somehow get in there and get something done. They need to address their pitching, but there's a ton of teams out there that have pitching as their biggest weakness. So it's going to be a bit more. I'm sure there's going to be a name out there that many people weren't suspecting to be traded today, but we'll be all over it, and we'll see you guys out there for the next video. Thanks for watching, and good luck. Bye.